Odinga pressed hard to defend her father's legacy, and ODM's top ranks now treat her like a problem that must be controlled.
ODM was not born in a bedroom. It was not made in a bedroom. So its future will not be discussed as pillow talk.
That this party is built on the principles of agitation. That we went to the street, people lost their lives, people have been maimed. But by the end of the day, there was also boardroom politics.
You see, the tension burst open during ODM's 20th anniversary in Mombasa. Winnie, still mourning, grabbed the microphone and laid out what she said was an attempted auction of the 2-decade-old outfit by insiders.
Nimesikia mazungumzo za magawanyiko ya chama. Sahau ya yote. Baba alikuwa anasema hiyo ni nini ya chura? Kilio cha chura ama nini? Kelele cha chura. You know, when you have a great tragedy, people get confused and they act in strange ways. Lakini if anyone is thinking like that, wajua kwamba ODM inajenga na hatuna mchezo.
She said the party's soul was forged in confronting bad governance head-on, exposing inept officials and taking battles to the streets when that was the only option.
ODM si chama kilichojazaliwa kama siri. Nasikia kuna wengine ambao wanatembea nasi mchana lakini usiku wanajaribu kuuza hii chama. Haiwezekani. ODM was not born in a bedroom. It was not made in a bedroom. So its future will not be discussed as pillow talk. It has been the heartbeat of the Kenyan people for 20 years.
To her, abandoning that identity felt like erasing the very history her father built.
ODM was born from protest. It was raised in resistance. And the people of ODM have time and time again bled, sweat, and shed tears for this country called Kenya. We are sorry that we don't always get it right. Oleni. But we will never be sorry for being inconvenient. They like to call us a party of goons. What we're doing is nation building. Nation building is untidy. Nation building is inconvenient. Nation building is uncomfortable. Nation building has left us in tears as ODM, as the People's Party, time and time again. But we, ODM, belong to the people. And we will continue growing because the young people of ODM have conviction.
However, her remarks triggered immediate outrage from ODM's gatekeepers. They read her message as a push to chain the party to permanent opposition and a steady diet of tear gas.
As the longest serving chairman of ODM while Raila was alive, that this party, it is true, it was built in the streets. This party was built on the foundation of civil liberty and democracy. But I want to say that there is one thing that I learned from Raila Odinga, that as you apply one strategy, you must blend it with another strategy.
Others interpreted it as a demand that any alliance ODM enters must come with street action. Within hours, senior figures lined up to push back. John Mbadi moved fast. Now a Treasury CS who praises President Ruto with near religious consistency, he scolded Winnie for imagining ODM could slip back into roadside battles. He argued that political deals can be sealed around tables, not only the chaos he remembers all too well.
Therefore, I want to speak to the people of ODM that you must respect your leaders, but we must also accept that Raila taught us to go to the street when it is necessary and go to the boardroom when it is necessary. My last comment, I read the book of Corinthians when Paulo spoke to the people of Corinthians, 1 Corinthians 13, verses 11, and he said that when I was a child, I thought like a child, I behaved like a child, I reasoned like a child, I acted like a child. But when I grew up, I left all my childhood life and started living like an adult.
You see, his stance comes from experience. Mbadi spent years absorbing rubber bullets and fumes while defending Raila's battles.
Tomorrow Ruto will be out. We don't want to victimize these officers. Let him not victimize Kinoti. Let him not victimize Matiang'i, because I know the target is not those young men who have been arrested. The target is Kinoti and the target is Matiang'i, and we know it, we hear it from them.
Today, with the government salary, security convoy, and the comfort of being on the inside, he has no appetite for anything that threatens his new position.
Raila has made tremendous progress with us. I want to just conclude by saying that this party is built on the principles of agitation. That we went to the street, people lost their lives, people have been maimed. But by the end of the day, there was also boardroom politics that Baba promoted. Baba believed in dialogue. And boardroom politics, even though as we were fighting for independence, we were in the streets and fighting people, Mau Mau and the rest, young Kavirondo and the rest. But for us to get independence, people went to Lancaster, sat on a table, agreed. For us to get the constitution we have today, after agitation and fighting in the streets, people went to Bomas of Kenya. People went to Kilifi. People went to Naivasha. People spoke. We went to Kenya School of Government, what used to be called KIA, and discussed. Why can't we continue the same today? Even though you want us to go to the street, but we should remember that there is also value in boardroom. 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 Thank you very much.
Then Oburu Odinga stepped in. Raila's brother and current ODM leader said a political party exists to take power, not to linger in opposition for the sake of tradition. In his view, ODM must always aim for State House or negotiate its way into the administration through a handshake if the numbers fall short.
We are now here, and I want to say that there is no party in the world which is formed to be in the opposition. All political parties are formed to be in government. And all political parties aspire to be in government. And all political parties fight to be in government. And therefore our party is not excluded, and our party ODM is fighting to be in the government now in this broad-based arrangement, but even in future, either as ODM or in coalition with other political parties. So we cannot say that as ODM, we just want to be there. We just want to be there. We don't want power. We want power. Because how are we going to implement our policies if we don't have power? If you are going for demonstrations,
with that, Winnie's warning shot turned into a full-blown clash over the party's future, and the fight for ODM's soul is now unmistakable.
Our late founding father, the Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga, did not only work with President William Ruto. Number one, he started working with President Moi. He worked with President Kibaki. He worked with President Uhuru Kenyatta, and he worked with President William Ruto. Kumbukeni hiyo.